Good morning, guys. I think it's time for a little update. See where we're at now, see where we left off. I think last time I talked with you guys, we were like smack in the middle of finals week, and it's currently Tuesday, um, the first week of the summer semester. So that was just last week. So I ended up getting all my assignments done. I passed both classes. Healthcare policy, I got like a 94.5% A, and the psychiatry across the lifespan, I got like 92, 93% A minus. I can live with that. This is a terminal degree. There's no more, there's no going back after this. There's no more turning in transcripts. So I finished up those classes. I ended up working Friday night and Saturday night, and the shifts, again, not half bad. So maybe the black cloud has gone from me. I'm hoping the black cloud is gone. And then I took Sunday to sleep and recover. Actually got really good sleep Sunday. Made a grocery list, swept the floors, got the house in order, tried preparing myself for the summer semester that was starting yesterday, Monday. So that has started, and I am in advanced pharmacology for providers. And I was supposed to be in a therapeutic intervention class, but only the pharmacology class would open for me today or yesterday. So I ended up emailing my advisor, who happens to be the director of the program. I went to this school as an undergrad, like in part of my associate's degree. I had to go to this school to take like an anatomy lab. It wasn't available at the school I was going to, so they transferred some credits. So they have two accounts for me, one in my maiden name, one in my married name, and that has been a problem a couple times for me now. And so I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't a problem of signing up under the wrong account. And she actually got back to me really quickly, and it turns out, based on the students that signed up for the first portion of the summer semester, they ended up combining the classes and pushing it back to the second part of the summer semester. So all these semesters are like cut in half. There's typically one long class that spans the full semester, and there's two shorter classes that that are half as long, one at the beginning, one at the end. So they took away the beginning class for me and they shoved it to the end. Well, I already have another class at the end. So I emailed her back, making sure that what I'm supposed to be doing is taking this pharmacology throughout the entire summer semester, and then taking the therapeutic interventions class the second half of the summer semester, and taking the epidemiology class the second half of the semester. So taking like 3 classes that second half of the summer semester. And if that's the case, it's fine. I just want to make sure that because it was pushed back, it doesn't mean my epidemiology class now has to be rescheduled or something. It seems like I'm being very anal about this, but this is literally my terminal degree. This is the last one, and the squeaky wheel gets the grease or whatever. I want to make sure that I don't want any problems for no good reason. I want to make sure that I have everything covered. I feel like I'm being kind of annoying, like triple checking, like, so we're pushing this back and we're taking this class. This is how it's supposed to be. But they have a set schedule that they want the PMHNP program to look like. And this is diverging a bit from that set schedule. So I just want to make sure that I continue on the path to my graduation staying the same. I feel like that's one thing about college. That's always a problem with college. You think the classes themselves might be the hard part, the learning, the getting new information, but it's typically administrative problems. It's, problems with my last name, problems with 2 accounts, problems with signing up for classes and having class availability. Those are the problems. It's never the learning part. It's the getting things squared away part. But either way, it seems like maybe the first half of the semester I might just be in a pharmacology class. And quite honestly, it sounds interesting to me. So not only should it be decent material, but it should free up a little bit of my time so I can work a little bit extra. So I can pay for this Zepbound and continue to lose weight. Because damn it, I'm staying on this medication. So quick Zepbound update. We're like just over a month in. I did my full month of the 2.5 milligrams, and then I've done 1 week of the 5 milligrams, and I can definitely tell a difference. I definitely don't have the hunger cues as often as I did on the 2.5 milligrams. So I think that helped tremendously. They're coming back, but my shot, I have to give myself the shot tomorrow, so that's to be expected. But it's definitely more noticeable, and I don't seem to be struggling with my meals as much, struggling with hunger as much, and I'm noticing the scale move a little bit more. The first month it was kind of up and down. It was down quite a bit that first day, essentially. Water weight, probably excitement from starting the first shot. But after that, it really leveled out and it was up and down a pound or two. Now I am pretty steadily going down. I've lost 12 pounds total in just over a month. And I'm happy with that. If we can keep on that trajectory, I think I'll be in a good place. I don't think I was going to mention it in the last video, but some of these get long and I am not established enough to be doing like 20 some minute videos. Maybe someday, but right now you guys don't want to listen to me talk that much, as evidenced by the analytics. I think my last video has an average watch time of 11 seconds. But this coming fall of 25, I start clinicals in an outpatient setting, and I see a PMHNP myself for some mild anxiety symptoms and for my hyperhidrosis, this crazy sweating that I had going on, that we've managed pretty well at this point. But I didn't know if it was appropriate to ask her to precept me because I'm her patient. So I kind of talked it over with a family nurse practitioner. I asked her how she found her preceptors, and she said it's pretty common to use providers that you're associated with as a patient. So I went ahead and I asked her about it at my last appointment. I wanted to bring it up briefly just to see what she would say. I know she's had students before, and it went okay. She told me to send her the details of what the semester would look like and what I need to accomplish during my clinical time. So I emailed her everything, and I am still waiting to hear back. That was about a week ago, but we have all summer to get this ironed out. I have an appointment within the next month and a half probably. So hopefully I can secure a preceptor for this fall. It's much harder to get preceptors as a graduate student than it was as a nursing student. We have to find our own preceptors now. So I think those are the big updates. We passed last semester. We're starting this semester. Schedule's a little bit off, but it maybe gives us some time to play around with working a little bit extra. Oh, and I officially got the state hospital job. So I start on the 19th, and the first 2 weeks are full-time straight weeks, like 9 to 5 day shift orientation days. So that'll be different for me, but it'll be interesting hearing about their policies and what the day-to-day looks like there and the different units and the different patient populations. So I'm excited to get started there. Also, the scrubs at the state hospital are royal blue, and the scrubs that I am currently in the ICU are white. If you know, you know. There is one hospital system that insists on white scrubs for their nurses because it's classic and it evokes trust. All right, so I am going to get some studying in. The first lesson of this pharmacology class is about pharmacokinetics and all the good stuff that comes along with that. Things that I've learned before, but it'll be good to have a refresher. And I'm sure it's going to be much more in depth than the classes that I had before. So we're going to study. I'm going to do my nails. I took everything off of them a couple days ago, and I never got around to actually painting them. We are going to get that done, and that's really all I have planned for today. So I'm going to try my hand at voicing over some of these clips. They're kind of out of order. I haven't quite found my groove of how I want to record yet. I try and record a little bit as often as I can so I have things to pull from, but then when I put it together I realized that I didn't really maybe have a good plan to start with. So a couple different outfits, things a little bit out of order, but you get the gist. Most of this is within the past week. I'll start a project like taking my nail polish off and then realize that I have to work later in the day and there's actually not enough time to get everything I want to get done. But if you're interested, I'm using gel polish. I haven't gotten my nails done at a salon in years, at least not my fingernails. I do enjoy the occasional pedicure, but it's just so expensive to go and keep up with the fingernails, it seems like. This is sped up like 8 times, so it looks really choppy, but the whole process of even just removing the nail polish takes a good half hour, 40 minutes if I don't want to damage my nails too much, if I want to let the acetone do the work and not the filing. So here we are a couple days later now. Finally have some time to put some color on my nails, make myself feel a little bit more peppy. I'm just
prepping my nails for painting. So I'm trying to push the cuticles back, remove what I can, cut them down, and then shape them a little bit and buff them so they're at their best baseline to kind of hold on to that gel polish. The gel process is pretty long in itself, but it's definitely worth it compared to regular nail polish. Regular nail polish will not stay on my nails for more than 12 hours. The first time I go to do dishes, it's chipped and it just gets worse and worse. So it's definitely worth my time to set a little time aside and get these nails polished up and professional. I don't know about you guys, but my left hand is just about worthless. So far more difficult to try and paint my right hand, but we manage, and overall it does pretty good. And there we have our finished springy nails. Now it's time to get the house in order in between semesters so I can focus a little bit better. The kitchen was atrocious and the carpets needed swept, but that's what happens when you have a German Shepherd. Here you see my husband picked me some flowers and they're beautiful, but they were also making a mess all over the kitchen. We had some eggs that needed put away that my husband got that morning. This is the bottle station where we mix up our bottles for our baby goats. We have one goat that is still getting a bottle once a day, but she's nearly weaned at this point. Little cardboard collection. That is the milk formula mix for the goat. And the big focus is getting these dishes taken care of. If you see me keep looking over, I nearly always have some kind of YouTube video on in the background, keeping me company while I get my chores done. And it's also typically true crime. That's been my go-to for like the last 2 or 3 years now. Never gets old. You may have also noticed I don't have a dishwasher. Someday I would love one. It seems like it would be so handy, but not only do I keep doing dumb things like going back to school and making it so I don't work nice full-time hours, but also I really don't have enough room in this kitchen to put a dishwasher. I don't think I'd be willing to give up any space in order to put one in. And it's time to sweep again. I could sweep every day and still get a ton of hair up. Actually, there's the main culprit right there. So, like I said, we're jumping around a little bit. That last clip of cleaning was probably on Monday. I had some time aside to get things done. And now it's Wednesday. Wednesday has become shot day. That has changed a couple times, but the rule of thumb from the manufacturer is as long as there's about 72 hours in between shots, um, you're able to move your shot around if it interferes with some kind of activity or travel, or if it makes you sick and you need to move it. So I think we've settled on Wednesdays. So here I am giving myself my second shot of the 5 milligram dose. It went pretty well the first week of 5 milligrams, so I'm excited to see what this next week holds. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely different giving myself the injection with the syringe versus with the pen. It doesn't hurt, it just seems a little bit more strange to me, something I need to get used to. Doing a little yard work while we have the time, and Roxy decided she was going to become a muddy mess. So she bought herself bath time. She's not a huge fan of bath time, but with being a German Shepherd and with being just as muddy as she always manages to get, they're more prone to skin conditions and hot spots. So it's pretty important that we keep the mud off her skin and that we keep her nice and clean. She nearly got in the bath on her own. I was so proud for a minute, but I knew it was too good to be true. So I had to try and coax her in with some treats. Still didn't work. So I had to gently lead her into the bathtub. So most of this part is a complete farce. Typically, I will turn the shower head on and just get in the shower with her, which does end up happening at the end of this. I feel like it's the best way to make sure that everything's rinsed off of her and I don't leave any kind of residue that might make her itch. But I wasn't too sure how I was going to record that, and I thought this would be a good starting point for us at least. But if you're curious, at the end, I do end up like a wet rat. She is actually a pretty good girl. I've had far worse bathing experiences with dogs in the past. We got the mud off of her. We cleaned her with her special hot spot shampoo, got her all rinsed off, and now she's ready to go run around the house like a crazy doggo. And here I am like a wet rat. My punishment for putting her through that awful bath time. I think that's all I've got for this week. So thanks so much for hanging out with me.